quick intro, quick plug for my ebook, Durianrider's Lean Body Bible. It's a cycling buyer's guide. So if you want to know aero, disc, endurance, race, whatever, what's the best cranks, what's the best frame set, what's the best touring bike, what's the best training bike, all the best diet tips, hundreds of cycling tips. If you want to fast track your cycling progress, I've spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on bike stuff. I know what's legit. I know what's shit. If you want to bypass all that hard work, get the fast track information, go to Durianrider.com, get a copy of my Durianrider's Lean Body Bible cycling ebook. Buyer's guides constantly updated. All right, get a copy. Seriously, it's the best book out there on cycling, period. Tips and buyer's guide included. Aero bikes. Just, hey, what does this t-shirt say? What does this t-shirt say? Got fat, cut the fuck up, go vegan. All right, so aero bikes. GCN did a video. I'm a fan of GCN. Some presenters I've spoken to in person. The lads, the girls. GCN did a thing of something about aero bikes versus light bikes. Now, I haven't seen the video, but I feel that they're claiming the stuff that Cannondale recently put out about their System 6 new aero disc bike, that the pros are not even using. None of the EF riders are using that on any climbs. Recently in the Tour of Colombia, they're using their Super 6. Even in Paris-Roubaix or Flanders, Sepp Van Mark using a Super 6. Last year used a Synapse. But how do we know when the riders have a choice and when they're said, hey, look, this is part of the contract bonus, please ride our new disc bike in this race. We need some social media coverage there. We need consumer belief, consumer confidence, and the riders will get a bonus. You know, how many pro riders out there are really riding disc brake bikes because they have a choice? Sagan does not have a choice. He is told, boom, you ride a disc brake bike, that's part of our contract. If you don't like it, too bad. They don't have a choice. Sagan does not have a choice if you're riding disc or rim. Specialized riders don't have a choice. Trek riders don't have a choice. I feel this is very bad if you're a GC rider. Peter Sagan doesn't need better brakes. Peter Sagan is Peter Sagan because he has those skills to pay the bills. Doesn't Peter Sagan need better brakes? You can have the best brakes in the world. Pete's still going to drop you on fucking Tektro rim calipers. Fact. Put Peter Sagan on a $1,000 bike or a $500 road bike with shitty Tektro brakes and shitty loose carbon rims, and Pete will still bomb downhill faster than us. He will. Just because he's got skills. With disc brakes, will he be able to go even faster? No, because he's going so fast anyway, because he's not using brakes, or hardly using brakes. So for the amateur rider, disc brakes, yeah, they can be good. For wet, for commuting, if you're a bike messenger, disc brakes for sure. But for the road racers, they're not using disc brakes because it's better. They're using them because they're paid to, and they're told to. Contractual obligation. So these people out there, and then the aero bikes. You know, this whole aero bikes. A heavy aero bike climbs faster than a lightweight climbing bike, which is total bunk. Because why doesn't Chris Froome get Pinarello to build him up some special aero bike? Why did Michael Matthews, the sprinter, use a TCR as his sprinting bike instead of the Propel aero bike? Why? Because the TCR just feels faster. It's just faster. It's lighter. It's just more nimble. These aero bikes are so heavy and sluggish. Put disc brake wheels on them, and they're also quite rigid, a lot of them, except for maybe the Madone with the ISO speed. But you ride a disc aero bike, they ride like slugs. I've ridden the new Venge S-Works. I've ridden the Madone. I've ridden all the blings. Got friends who own these bikes. Sometimes demo days, whatever. These disc aero bikes ride like slugs. Compare it to a lightweight rim racing fucking climbing bike like a TCR or an Amonda, or they ride so much more nimble. All right. Now you might need disc brakes because you live in the wet climate, and I agree, disc brakes dominate there. If I lived in London and a road year round, I'd buy a disc brake bike for sure. Just better, safer braking in the wet, definitely. And stopping for traffic lights, cars cutting you off, grabbing the brakes. Pros don't need to grab their brakes. If you grab your brakes, you got 100 guys behind you or 20 guys behind you, and you're going to cause a pile-up. All right, so this is how it is. So the better brakes you need in traffic, I agree, disc brake bikes. But we're getting sold that aero disc brake bikes are the go. And that's absolute fucking bullshit for performance. If we're talking uphill time trial, if we're talking sprinting, if we're talking high performance, where brakes don't really needed, then rim brake for the win. Someone said the other day, well, Peter Sagan, he's an experienced rider. If disc brakes weren't better, he wouldn't use them. That's how fucking noobs some of these people are. Let's get the exact quote up. Let's get the exact quote up. It's just, just some of these people out there. Some of these noobs. It is quite hilarious how people are so gullible that they believe every bit of marketing that's spewed to them. I mean, I'm a fan of Cannondale and Specialized and Trek bikes. I own them all. I've got 25 bikes, so a few more bikes coming this week. I'm a bike nut. I can't find the exact quote. But, it's just hilarious how people just get sucked into the marketing. And, it's crazy. Just, Aero bike is better up hills than a climbing bike. It's hilarious. Hilarious. I can't find this quote. I got so many screenshots on this screen. But the new marketing of the Cannondale, it's just like the pro riders are just laughing at it. It's like the Garmin Vector pedals. When Garmin put out their Vector pedals, the pros are like, this is shit. Give me my SRM. Give me my whatever. Give me my stages even. How many pros use the Garmin Vectors? It's like this the inaccurate. It's like pedal-based power meters are shit because you got to it's just you're based on a crank torque, and they get knocked, they get hit, they get out of balance. I would never buy a pedal-based power meter. Better than nothing, but I'd just say get a stages. Lighter, stronger, better. Good enough for Chris Froome, good enough for us. And Chris Froome is using a climbing bike. All these people using climbing bikes, the people who are getting serious about their weight, climbing bike. All right, climbing bike. If you're talking uphill performance, you're talking Tour de France level performance. Disc brakes are a disadvantage. Slow wheel changes, extra weight, pads rubbing. All these keyboard warriors making me cough. Oh, but disc brakes set up properly. Ask any pro rider who's honest. So did disc rub now and then? No, they do. They do. On the most expensive bike with the world's best mechanics, your road disc brakes are still going to rub because they just get hot, the oil expands, road disc brakes are way more temperamental than mountain bike disc brakes. I don't know why. None of the mechanics I've talked to know why. No one from SRAM or Shimano knows why. They sort of, no, that's fine, mate. Even the latest SRAM Axis disc brakes rubbing. Tick, 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 tick. So I've ridden with a lot of pro riders of disc brakes, and I hear this ting, 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 and the riders are fucking looking down. They're getting pissed off. They're trying to hide that disappointment, but, it's just how it is. Road disc brakes, very temperamental. They're fantastic for wet weather. If you're commuting, I rode disc brake bikes the other day at the shops, and I was like, these are great. Still rubbing, still ding, 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 but it doesn't matter because I want safe braking in the wet, which pros don't need. They don't use their brakes hardly at all. That's what makes them pros. There's a difference between a pro and you and me is we'll all go down top of the outdoors on the downhill, and they'll use their brakes less than me and less than you, and that's why they're pro. Simple as that. So the Aero bikes, the disc brake bikes, just a big, big marketing fad. If you want to get one though, you get one. If you like the look of it, then yeah, you get it. Whatever bike you like to look of and stuff, get it. But don't be fooled into thinking you're going to climb faster on the Aero bike or a bike with disc brake bikes. You won't. You won't at all. You'll have better, safer braking in traffic, for sure, in the wet, definitely. It'll look cool in the photos on Instagram, but that's about it.